Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of XRP. This is episode 4 of the November-December XRP Star Trek: The Optimum Syndicate. I am your host and narrator, James Phoenix. Today's episode is episode 4, Blackout. Joining me for this episode, as always, among the cast, I, of course, will be playing Captain Charles Bradford. Joining me is my first officer, Lieutenant Li Long Zhao Fang, played by Marcus Shadow.
Lieutenant? What the fuck? Did you just demote me off screen?
No, I didn't say Lieutenant. I said Commander Li Lao Zhao Fang. I was saying your full name, Dick. I didn't say Lieutenant.
You did say first officer, at least.
You did say first officer.
In his defense, in Marcus's defense, it was the last radio play where he had God Modded Hearing.
Well, say if you need a title to make you feel like a man, you're already doomed.
Sorry.
Funny.
And also joining us on this, we have at the Security Tactical Console, Lieutenant Junior Grade Jax, played by Chris the Mole.
Gone, but not forgotten.
Pretty much. And we then have our newest official ship recruit, Cadet Roger McClinton of Starfleet Academy, our helmsman and navigator and chief communications officer, played by Richter Hammer.
That's me!
Woo!
Oh my god, you're right, it is you! Holy shit, it's you the whole time!
Woo!
Mm-hmm.
He's the best one.
He is the best one.
It was Victor the whole time and I never knew.
Now you know.
I said the same thing about Crispy the other day.
Now that I've seen it, I can't unsee it.
And of course, rounding out the cast, we have our
What's the face?
our interim acting chief medical officer, Nurse Nor Needlem, played by S.H. Laserbeam Pew Pew.
No,
We hear the expand I condone naming her.
trust me, I'm a doctor. Almost.
Not a doctor, but I play one on the internet.
That's why I said almost.
So, with that said, we're going to go into today's episode. I would also like to preemptively thank this episode's guest writer, Chris the Mole, for chipping in to help with the rewrite of this episode at the last minute, due to my lack of time to do so after some changes had to be made.
Yeah,
Thank you. So, with that said, let us begin.
Absolutely.
Captain's log. Well, why do I keep doing these logs? It's not like they're going back to Starfleet at this point. Well, at any rate, it's been several more days since we managed to rescue Commander Zhao, and we are currently under cloak attempting to decide what our next move should be. Returning to Starfleet almost certainly means a court-martial, but staying out here in space is only going to inevitably lead us back toward this Optimum Syndicate and more danger. Almost a rock in a hard place. In the meantime, I've given the crew at least some time to relax and hopefully clear their minds while I worry about the more pressing issues. Nurse Needlem is tending to Commander Zhao in the medical bay. His injuries were a bit more severe than we had initially thought, but he seems to be making recovery, and I believe the lieutenant has chosen to take Cadet McClinton down to the combat training room to hopefully get him more familiarized with some field combat due to his obvious inexperience that was demonstrated the last few times. He seemed to be a little nervous about it, so hopefully that'll improve his confidence. I should probably go down and check how Zhao is doing. The scene fades and cuts down to the medical bay, where Acting Chief Medical Officer Nurse Needlem is tending to Commander Zhao, who is laying on a med bay table.
So, it looks like you have some soft tissue around your neck that appears to be really deeply bruised. It could have caused severe problems with your voice box, so you probably should not. You probably should not talk for a while. At least where, give it a rest. You could have worked a lot worse if you weren't got to the ship. You could have fractured your spine,
Trust me, nurse, I'll be fine. Besides,
Hey,
I think you're the last one who should be giving advice about voice.
What is that supposed to mean?
Do you not hear yourself? You sound like you're underwater, nurse.
Listen, I'm doctor here, almost. And when I say shush, you need to shush.
Very well, archaic doctor.
Like, I might be from the year way farther than you, or behind you, but still, there's actually something within, the basics, the original.
You are correct about that. Very well, I will rest, as per your orders, doctor. Speaking of, how the heck did you guys find me?
I personally didn't find you, but I came to your rescue. Once we, I think the credit goes to Jax.
Huh. Remind me to thank the big lug once I get out of here.
Yeah, so you have a whole lot of bruising on the rest of your body, but that's coming along nicely. I'm really impressed on actually future check and stuff. I just really don't like all the bruising on your neck. It doesn't seem to be healed even by the future stuff you've got going on, like all these tissue regenerators and things.
Well, medical technology has come a long way in the last several hundred years, doctor.
So what's the cure for the common cold?
The hypo spray over on your table over there.
Okay, just asking, because, I thought future, I gotta bring that out and say, you should have figured it out by now, so I'm glad that it got covered up.
Absolutely. Looks like you're adjusting well. That's good. We could use all the help we can get out here.
All right. I'm just gonna give everything still further. Let's see. I don't know why your head seems to be not, working as well.
Xiao closes his eyes as he tries to get some rest and allows the nurse to do her job.
As Xiao closes his eyes, we cut to the ship's combat training room, where we see Lieutenant Jax is teaching Roger McClinton some hand-to-hand combat techniques.
Like that, Rookie. Just keep punching. Use your
okay.
You got this. Better form. Straighten that back, Rookie.
Yes, sir. Right away, sir. Roger straightens up his back while continuing to work out.
You're doing better.
Thank you, sir. Trying, sir.
As you punch, step forward. Try to put your weight behind it.
Okay. While punching, Roger timidly steps forward while punching. Like this, sir?
Yes, like that, but if a man did it.
I'm sorry, sir. Sound like my dad, sir. Roger continues punching while stepping forward.
You've got this, Rookie. Think of this punching bag as your enemy. You want to punch through your enemy. Attack!
Ah! Roger yells as he punches forward.
Good. That was better. Now, I would teach you to use your tail, but sadly you humans don't have one.
Sorry,
Alright.
sir.
Here you go, Rookie. Jax throws him a towel. You're doing good, kid. Just dry yourself off a little bit. We'll take 5.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Trying as hard as I can. It's not really used to this.
You're doing good.
The door to the combat room opens and the captain steps through. He walks over to Jax. How's the kid doing?
He's doing pretty good. Better than some of the ones at the academies. You know, the ones who burst out crying after 5 minutes. He's doing pretty well. I reckon with enough training, he could become a pretty good fighter. I look forward to seeing him in action.
I agree. Ever since he came on board, it's always seemed like his own lack of self-confidence was his biggest obstacle. I think he's got the skill. I think he just needs the confidence to use it.
Yup. I believe he does have the touch, and he will have the power.
Agreed. Keep up the good word, Mr. Jax. The captain leaves.
Thank you.
We cut back to the med bay where we see the nurses continuing to tend to Zhao as he attempts to get some rest.
Alright.
Hey, nurse, am I forbidden from getting up at all?
Yes. That should be obvious.
Then, how do I use the bathroom?
There's a thing, I don't know if you have it here on your wall, but it's called a bedpan. Thankfully, I used the replicator to bring one up right here. She hands the bedpan. And also, if you can't do that, there's this other thing which I had the replicator make just in case and for my own personal enjoyment because it's hilarious. There's a thing called a catheter. So, like, again, if you can't do it yourself, I'll be happy to do it for you, you know.
Shao looks at the catheter in the bedpan and rolls his eyes. Oh, so archaic, so undignified.
I had to do this to a million old people, so it's nice that your parts aren't at least as saggy. I imagine.
Hey, technology may have changed, but humans haven't. Everything works perfectly, thank you very much.
I hope so.
Zhao tosses a catheter in the bedpan on the ground. Nah, screw that. Zhao sits up and runs his hand behind his head, cracking his neck. Man, my muscles are starting to atrophy because I haven't moved in a while. Look, I won't leave sickbay, all right? I just need to get a little exercise.
No, you don't. It's the opposite of the things you need. What you need is to not move and not talk, which you're doing neither. So, yeah.
Zhao smirks as he swings his leg over the table. First officer's prerogative, Doctor.
No.
Zhao stands up and blinks a couple times as he's getting used to standing again. Then all of a sudden, all the lights in the sickbay go off. The hell?
What are you doing? What the hell is happening on this ship? You get back on the bed, and I'm just gonna figure out what the hell is wrong with this power. Like, I would.
Zhao closes his eyes as a flash erupts from behind him, enveloping the entire sickbay. Ah!
Yo, what the hell? Did your ear light up or something?
Zhao blinks a couple times. Oh, hell. He reaches behind his ear. How did I not notice this? Hey,
Kind of.
Needle, you said you're a surgeon, right?
Yeah. Or study one.
Zhao lays down on the bed, his face down, behind my right ear. It's time you prove that you're a surgeon.
Oh, jeez. Thanks. Oh, cool. Final testing, you know. I mean, I was tired of all the practical work. Theoretically, I should be able to do this. So, yeah, dig right in.
That flash you saw, Doctor, was an EMP. That looks like they installed something behind my right ear. Since you're the surgeon, it's your job to get it off of me. Hopefully the others aren't somewhere that they need power to get out of.
Yeah, I take a kind of precedent. I don't like doing surgery in the dark. So while your little technology is I'm gonna go back to my room, get a flashlight, at least something,
Good idea. Well, I'm not going anywhere.
Because we had these cool things. I mean, I know like there's probably the last bit of AA batteries we have, and maybe I can make the replicate to make some AA batteries or whatever. I don't know how it works, but for right now, I'm just gonna use that because I know it works.
Tell you what, you get this thing out of me and get me back on my feet. I'll jury rig that thing for you and get you a better power source.
Like I said, a better power source or working. Because right now all the better power sources are not working. So there's no sense in sticking to the old-fashioned now and then, or having it as a backup.
Fair enough. Needlam disappears into her office as the scene shifts.
We cut back to the combat room, where Jax and Roger have also become subject to the apparent sudden power loss.
Did you turn off the lights? Is this like night training or something? Mr. Gorn, sir? I think he left me. Oh. Jax?
Hello?
Mr. Jax?
Hello?
Oh, hello.
That was weird. I was talking and you couldn't hear me. But yeah,
Sorry, sir. My fault, sir.
Jax.
It's hard to hear in the dark, sir.
Jax uses his claw and his uniform to create a small spark. Do you see the spark, rookie?
Ah, yes, sir. I see it.
Follow me.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Well, I know what'll calm you down. Probably, it might not calm you down the best, but... Jax picks up a really heavy bookcase and just moves it to the side, revealing a secret room behind it. You see this? This is my escape, if you will. No one's seen this before, but I give to you my art studio.
Oh, wow. I didn't know, sir, that you liked art, sir.
It helps calm me. I find painting to be a release of anger, if you will. But we'll get you inside here. I've got some drinks, I got some snacks, and we'll just wait for the captain to inevitably do what captains of Starfleet do, and that's save the day despite themselves.
Yes, sir. Sorry I can't see your paintings very well in the dark, sir.
It's okay. But when the lights come on, they're magnificent.
I'm sure they are, sir.
But let's get you that beer. Jax,
Yes, sir.
Small cooling box he has there. Yep, still cold. Here you go, rookie.
Roger timidly takes the beer from him. Thank you, sir, and takes a small sip. Thank you, sir. Hits the spot, sir.
You're doing better than a lot of rookies. I mean, you should have seen Zhao and the captain when they were rookies. I've heard stories, and yeah, you're doing better than them. With enough practice, you could be an amazing Starfleet officer.
You're very kind, sir. I don't know if I'd go that far though. I'm just trying to do it. I don't think I'd be as good as a senior officer Zhao and Captain Bradford though. They're
not yet.
They're very exemplary officers, sir.
They are amazing, and with enough practice, when you get to their level underneath them with their experience, you'll be amazing. You just need to buck up, kid, Jack says as he lightly punches his chin.
Okay, sir. I'll try, sir. Thank you. Some good advice. I'll do my best. Roger smiles at him.
The shift then happens in the scene again.
Scene shifts up to the bridge, where it is completely dark. But Bradford has pulled a hand lamp out of an emergency panel on the wall and is attempting to restore some kind of power to the bridge. What the hell happened? Well, at least the turbolift got me most of the way back here. I only had to climb 2 floors to the turbolift shaft to get to the bridge. Now, this isn't like a minor power thing. If it was, Bradford, you'd have to, check every system to find the small fluctuation. This is an entire ship-wide power outage from what I can tell. There should be an easy fix. Something that causes this much power loss should be obvious. Come on, you took basic engineering. You know how to do this. Let's see. Bradford fiddles with some control panels, attempting to get any kind of response out of them, and then goes underneath the panels and starts looking at the wires to determine if there's some kind of an issue with the power flow through the conduits. Bradford tools around under the console for a couple of minutes, playing around with the wires. Damn it! Bradford goes into his ready room for a moment and comes back holding his portable tricorder device that he takes on away missions. Oh, at least this thing works. Good thing I put a separate power source in it. It's not going to be powerful enough to do much, though. See, if Zhao were here, he could probably fix this in a heartbeat. Well, if this is working, I might be able to patch into communications and ask him what to do. What am I saying? This is Zhao I'm talking about, after all we went through back on the Sanzio. If I turn around and ask him for help now to fix this, he's never going to let me live it down. I won't hear the end of it. No, I can do this. It can't be that hard to figure this out. Bradford goes back to work attempting to restore power as the scene transitions back down to the combat, or to Jax's private studio.
Thank you for the drink, sir.
It was a pleasure, Bucky. It was a pleasure.
It's a little harder to breathe, though. You don't think it's just the lights? You think maybe it's the life support, because that means it's a lot worse. How are you okay? How can you? Are you having trouble breathing too, or am I just claustrophobic?
There has been some sort of change in the atmosphere, but being a gun, I don't think it'll affect me as quickly as you guys, which means, yay, I get the pleasure of having to clean up all your corpses and then dying myself. It's my birthday.
Oh, just tell my parents I'm sorry. I don't want to die here. That's why I didn't want to go to space. So much can go wrong. I don't want to die here.
Breathe, Rookie. Breathe.
I'm trying. It's kind of hard. Air is thinner. Feel lightheaded.
Don't close your eyes. Just stay with us.
Yes, sir.
I don't know. Tell us about how you got on this ship in the first place.
Yes, sir. Of course, sir. Well, my parents always wanted me to join Starfleet, sir. I don't have any brothers or sisters, so I had to be me to go, and I'm still pretty new to it. I don't think I'm doing that well, but they really want me to, and I'm just trying to make them proud, sir.
I think you all made them proud.
Thank you, sir. Still don't
But
think they want me to die here, sir.
but even if you haven't made them proud, as long as you can be proud about yourself, then you're a winner. Don't worry, the captain will repair this. I know the captain. He always comes through. I mean, when I first joined the Gorn army, this may take you as a surprise, but they didn't like me very much. Because I do paintings and stuff like that, they saw me as a weakling or a sissy, I believe you humans would call it. Then
Wow,
I,
yeah. I can't
then
imagine you being a sissy, sir.
to my race, I kind of am. To my race, like you, I'm a disappointment. Then I went to Starfleet, and they just see me as a monster. So yeah, the captain and his first officer, they're the first ones to see me not just as a giant alligator that could bite off their heads, but as a man, and that's sort of cool, you know what I mean? So I believe in them. I would risk my life on their reputation.
That's good, sir. I don't think you're a monster either. You've probably been the person that's treated me the nicest in all my or my year in Starfleet Academy and school and all my life.
Well, you made me proud of how fast you're taking up the combat training.
Thank you, sir. It's hard work, but I need to do it because I don't want to let the crew down again, sir.
You're doing good, Roger. And like I said, have faith in the captain. He'll see us through. He
Yes,
always
sir.
does.
Through the darkness, there seems to be a light crackling sound that seems to be coming from Jax's communicator. Jax, Bradford to Jax, can you hear me?
Hey, Captain.
I don't know how long this thing's gonna work. I'm powering a single communication line off of my portable tricorder. It has a separate power source, but if I run it too long, it's not gonna last. How are things down there? Are you and the cadet okay?
I'm doing okay, and he's he's a little worried. He seems he's not taking this well, so but he's hanging in there to his credit.
I can't imagine anybody would be taking this well. It seems to be a ship-wide power outage. I'm doing the best I can to repair it, but I wanted to check around and make sure everyone was okay.
Make sure you just get those life supports fixed, Captain. I know you're probably aware, but
Yeah.
he's fading fast.
Yeah, I know. I believe if I recall what I read about the vessel correctly, you have about 2 hours worth of air if life support goes down, so ticking clock. I'll work fast. Bradford out. We cut back to the medical bay, where we see Nora and Zhao are attempting to figure out what's going on and what to do.
So far, so good, Doc. Just be careful. I don't know if they've embedded this thing in my skin, in my flesh or not. Well, you're sure using that laser cutter pretty good, Doc. Maybe you'll become Starfleet Medical yet. Doc, hello.
Hello? Oh, okay. Yeah, so back in my day, where people used to like get pierced, but they didn't want their parents to know. So I thought like that would be a great way for pretty much synthetic anesthetic. If you just like take some ice and we'll put it behind your ear, freeze it up nice, and yeah, you shouldn't feel a thing when I start to cut into you.
Well, it seems to be working, and piercings. I do remember reading about that in history class.
Because on Skype we were fine.
So, so how goes the extraction of the EMP device, Doc?
So yeah, I got getting all prepped, pretty much get everything set up for me. Once we actually do this, because this is going to be my first surgery, I'm not taking any chances. Totally going straight up Murphy's Law, and just laying everything up before me, get everything sterilized, got my ice.
I wouldn't worry too much, Doctor. Just keep that dermal regenerator next to you. If you fuck up, just use that. You'll be fine.
Dude, like, no power. This electronic shit does not work.
Doctor, you do realize all of our mobile devices use external power sources, right? Your dermal regenerator should have a full charge in it. It should be fine.
Okay, but how long has it been since the power's been going out? So that means they've already started depleting. And what if they what if they pretty much go out halfway through? Oh, sorry, I half healed you, and now you're gonna be like fucked. No thanks.
Calm down, Doctor. Calm down. This is the 24th century. Trust me. That dilithium power source inside, yeah, it's got a couple of days on it. You'll be fine.
Yeah, since
I'm an engineer, Doctor. I build these things on a daily basis. Trust me.
I'm a surgeon. I'm going to do my first surgery. I'm going to stick to what I know.
Fair enough.
So yeah, we're gonna do this my way. And why the fuck are you still talking? Shit.
Trying to keep you from freaking out because you're about to cut into my head.
Hey, I'm not freaking out. In fact, you know what? I didn't want to Dixie Sticks. Just, get myself a little psyched. Grab some. Oh, it tastes so good. Okay, let's do this.
Oh, brother. Zhao closes his eyes.
Oh. So, alright. Get my scalpel out. Do you know the air in here is starting to get a little thin? Like I'm having trouble breathing. Is that like normal? Like, there was just the lights.
Well, with the power of the EMP, it wouldn't surprise me if life support was failing.
Alright.
So, yeah, if Bradford doesn't get that thing up and running within, I don't know, off the top of my head, the next 20 minutes, we're probably all going to die.
Alright. So, you...
Except for maybe Jax. I don't know much about Gorn physiology, so he may be able to survive longer.
So, I want you to stop talking and start, like, numbing yourself with the ice.
Right. Zhao reaches to the bedside, grabs a pack of ice, and tucks it in behind his ear. Whew, that's cold.
That's the point. It should take, like, 15-20 minutes for you to get properly numb so that, like, you won't feel anything at all.
Great, so you expect me to sit here until I'm dead before you're going to cut into me. That's wonderful.
Hey, if you stopped talking and you collected more ice earlier, we'd have less time. But you're like, let's use the lasers and let's use all this stuff that you never used before and also never did surgery before. Like on you. Hey, I would have just cut off your head. That would solve all the problems, right? Okay.
Bradford to sick bay. Neelam, do you read me?
No, I read you. What's up? What's up with the power and like me not breathing and all that stuff?
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure. All I can tell is that some type of powerful electromagnetic surge knocked out power to almost the entire ship.
Yeah, it's this thing behind his ear or whatever. It's like, I'm gonna cut it out.
Oh, it's something. Oh, they booby-trapped Xiao. Of course. I thought that was too easy for us to get out of there.
Up right now, so I'm getting all prepped for surgery. My first surgery. He wants me to use these batter cutter lasers or something. I'm gonna just go up straight original. Because Hollow Doctor is not here, and I don't know how to use the laser stuff yet. I mean, I've learned theoretical knowledge from the hologram, but I'm not ready to put it in practical use on a dying person who might explode the ship or whatever.
This thing must be running out of power. The communication line is weak. Your voice sounds a little garbled, but I don't know. I mean, I'm doing the best I can to fix this. We're gonna run out of air pretty soon. If you guys are feeling lightheaded, that's why. The life support systems are only stand to run for a limited amount of time after we run out of power. I'll have to have you look at that later if we survive this.
Don't worry. It's maybe 10 more minutes before I could actually start cutting into him, and then we'll have this thing out. Look at his split. And then you can look at it and break it or whatever you do to make it go away, and the power turns back on and whatever.
Well, I don't know if that's going to work. By the time you get that thing out of there, it might be too late to get the power back on before we all pass out from lack of oxygen. I mean...
See, this is why I said stop talking, Joe. You're using up all the goddamn air.
Look, Xiao and I worked together for a long... Xiao could probably fix this if he was... I mean, I don't know. He and I have been together a long time. We've served together on the Sanzio before he was drafted by the Corps of Engineers, the people who made the fancy hollow cloak that we use, and...
Are you saying he can fix this now? Then why don't you use his breath just to make him fix it now before I get surgery? Because he's still got some minutes left.
Because if I ask Xiao to help me out, I'm never going to hear the end of it.
We're dying here. Seriously, you're going to, put your friggin' people dying of your pride? Or, that's what you got to do.
I suppose you're right. But... No, I know I can do this.
No, come on. Seriously, people are gonna die. You're not with it. Seriously,
So the great, powerful, legendary Captain Charles Bradford needs my help. Well, Chuck, tell me why I should help you,
Well, for one thing, I don't think you want to die any more than I do. But besides that, because... for God's sake. You're the chief engineer. There's nothing doing to fix this sort of thing. That's why they put an engineer like you on this ship.
Well, in case you haven't noticed, I'm kind of stuck in sickbay, so even if I wanted to fix this, there's nothing I can do from here.
I knew this was
You won't refuse to shut up.
I knew this was a waste of time. Should have figured.
I mean, he's literally losing brain cells on the second. He's freaking saying, "Oh, crazy electricity, it's still working. Oh wait, it's not." He's losing his intelligence as you speak. Use him while you still got him.
She's got a point, Xiao. Whatever's between us, if we're both dead, it's never going to get resolved. I mean, we could argue about our disagreements later, but the fact of the matter is, if it were just the two of us, I'd say fine, whatever. But there's no reason that she or Jackson, the cadet, should die because of a power failure because we were too stupid to put aside our differences.
Exactly. You can argue in hell when you're both dead.
You have a point. Fair enough. It should be pretty elementary, but you're going to have to get down to engineering. You should be able to cut through the Jeffries tubes. It should only take you about 5 minutes. Anyone else would take longer, but you, nah. 5 minutes tops.
Understood. I'll reestablish communication when I get down there. Bradford cuts the line and runs to the nearby Jeffries tube on the side of the bridge. He pops open the panel and climbs in, pulling himself through. Man, good thing I kept myself in shape. Bradford continues pulling himself through the Jeffries tube, slides down in a few areas to get there faster, pops open a panel and pulls himself out in main engineering. Bradford to Zhao. Okay, I'm here.
Alright. You should be able to go straight to the core itself. Hopefully it didn't engage the auto fields on the backup generator.
Well, it may have started. The fact that we're here and not space dust means that the thing hasn't breached, so...
The security field's numbnuts, not the containment field.
Oh, right.
Hey, keep the ice pack in your head. You can talk and put ice in your head.
Right.
Again, this is why I didn't pursue engineering.
Shao keeps the ice to his neck. Cold.
Ice? Really? We're resorting to using ice at this point?
Hey, you got some other anesthetics that I know of that are like, actually from my time that can be
She's
made
refusing.
without an electronic replicator.
She's refusing to use the laser scalpel, sir.
Fine. Let's just get this working.
All right, you should be able
I'm
to.
trying to do this so you used to live, okay? I mean, if you want me to cut your own head off, we can do that right now, and everybody can die.
She could take some lessons from the EMH on bedside manner. Anyway, you should be able to re-jumpstart everything just by taking the core offline for 5 seconds and re-engaging the core itself. That should, in theory, turn everything back on once it re-engages all the connections.
You know, Mrs. Zhao, he proceeds to begin the work. I'll be honest. You're right, this should work, but I feel like this is a solution that some type of a computer technician from the nurse's time would use to repair the old-style computers.
Well, hey, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. By the way, don't fuck this up, Chuck. This ship is a Saber class, remember. It doesn't have the redundancies built into it like a modern ship would, like, oh, I don't know, the Enterprise.
Right, good point. Bradford hooks his portable tricorder into the warp engine console, giving it enough power to function for a few brief minutes. He begins entering the commands, taking the warp cores offline and depowering the dilithium chambers before restarting everything and watching the warp field come up in front of him as the blue lines emanate up and down the warp core, indicating energy beginning to flow. Okay, I think it's working. Hopefully everything should kick back on in the next few moments.
Bradford, you're going to have to manually disengage the safety locks, otherwise it's going to keep the surge back. We're going to need that surge to immediately jumpstart everything before we all die.
Right. Bradford runs across engineering to the emergency panels. Look, there's enough power to the consoles in here. Bradford hits a few buttons and pulls a lever near the console, disengaging the emergency locks.
The computer starts up. Warning. Safety locks removed.
I think that power outage might have damaged the computers. Normally that would say disengaged.
A bright flash nearly blinds Bradford as the core kicks back on.
Bradford falls backward as the light blinds him.
Bradford, you okay down there?
I think so. That was brighter than I thought. But then again, I guess pure dilithium reaction will do that.
The lights begin to come on all over the ship.
Okay, I think that did it.
Good. Now re-engage that safety lock before you blow us up.
Warp engine safety locks re-engaged. Okay.
Just a meeting I can tell the Hollowhead to like cut that out of you now while I watch so I can perform the actual whatever century time period this is surgery for next time.
Xiao takes the ice pack off and hands it to the nurse. Should. Computer. Engage the
Hollowhead, cut him
EMH.
open. Let's do this.
The EMH appears. Please state the nature of your medical emergency.
He's got a thing behind his ear that glows. Cut it out of him.
There's an EMP device behind my right ear, doctor. Kindly cut it out. Very well.
Do it very
EMH
slowly.
picks up the laser scalpel and steps between Nurse Needlem and Commander Zhao as he deftly removes the EMP device in one fell swoop. Here you are, Commander. Thank you.
Alright, now get that security tape that you just played while doing that, send it to my recorder so I can watch it over, and then I can like analyze and probably try to practice, doing that same kind of procedure.
Absolutely, nurse. The EMH sets the laser scalpel down and disappears into the CMO's office to put together the video for Nurse Needham.
Yep.
She sits up. Huh. That's impressive work. I'll have to take a look at that in my office later. Shout to Bradford. We got communications back.
Bradford here. It sounds like it. Bradford to Jax. Are you guys okay down there? Power restored? Cadet, anyone?
Oh my god, they're dead.
I can breathe, sir.
Okay.
Thank you, sir,
Okay.
for fixing it, sir.
Not a problem, Cadet. Okay.
Can you hear
Everyone-
me, Captain?
Yes, I can hear you, Mr. Jax. I think the communications took a moment to kick back in ship-wide. Alright. Everything should be restored. Everybody, make sure you're okay, and probably wouldn't hurt to check in with the EMH. The reduced oxygen could have some minor effects. It may be beneficial to get a vitamin shot real quick. In the meantime, well, if you need anything, I'll be on the bridge. Bradford out.
Aye.
See, Rookie? Everything came up Gornhouse.
Yes, sir, you were right, sir.
Shao picks up the dermal regenerator off the side table and applies it behind his ear as the dermal regenerator hums to life and begins repairing a slight incision from the EMH's laser scalpel.
You don't even have to know what you're doing. You'd be like, just somewhere behind my ear. Sure, it does it. Well, it doesn't even require any kind of accuracy or knowledge whatsoever.
Well, I can kind of tell where I got cut, nurse.
I know, but just behind my ear, got it, whatever. It's just that, in my generation we needed more specifics, People had more training, but you kids today and your fancy gadgets, you can just do it instantly.
Welcome to the future, Doc. Welcome to the future.
God, I sound like my mother. It's not good.
Shao hands Nurse Needham the EMP device. Give this to the captain when he comes around, all right? Zhao
Alright.
lays back down.
Bradford to Zhao, whenever you've recovered down there, I'd like to speak to you in the ready room. I think we need to have a conversation.
Hey, if you're going to talk to him first, then you can give him the stupid thing. Here.
Very
He
well.
gives him the EMT device.
On my way. Zhao takes the device from Nurse Needham and exits sickbay. I'll be back, Doc. Cut to the ready room. Doo-doo-doo-doo.
Come.
The doors slide open as Zhao walks in. He rubs the back of his ear. You wanted to see me, sir?
Well, based on what happened back there, that nearly cost us our lives, I think a conversation might be in order if we're going to continue to effectively function as captain and first officer. As you know, traditionally, in Starfleet, the first officer is supposed to be the captain's most trusted advisor, and first officer is supposed to trust the captain inherently to deliver his orders, but also to protect the crew. And I feel like if that sort of thing's going to happen in a life-threatening situation just for a simple power failure, imagine what happens if we get into a debate like that when we're looking down the barrel of a Zinketi disruptor. It wouldn't end well.
This is true. But then, how can I forgive you for being such a pompous jerk back on the Sanzio?
Think about something for a second. Back on the Sanzio, you became the chief engineer as a matter of necessity. When your predecessor unexpectedly died in that attack, we were in a pinch. Now, you know as well as I do that I didn't agree with that promotion, but it wasn't anything personal against you. It's because I felt that someone with the lack of experience that you did would have a hard time adjusting to a high-ranking command position such as that. I mean, remember how young you were at the time. You were barely 30, not even. I mean, when I looked at you becoming the chief engineer, I saw myself a long time ago, back when I first became the chief science officer of another vessel. I was young and brash, and I made some mistakes. I didn't want to see you do the same thing, given that you were younger than I was when I managed that promotion. I was trying to look out for you to help make sure that you didn't make a stupid mistake that would cost you your career before you had a chance to even experience it. I know I was hard on you, but it was with the best of intentions. I wasn't trying to be a hard ass, but you know me well enough to know that sometimes it comes out that way.
True. And I guess in the end, we both became well known throughout the Federation for different things. And yeah, maybe I got a little jealous of you because, well, let's face it, you were out in the field. You were out bridging gaps. I was stuck in a goddamn lab.
I point out to you that your time stuck in that goddamn lab has saved our lives no less than 3 times since this ship has left space, Doc.
This is true, but I am the only engineer on board, sir.
This is true of all of this, the Syndicate and everything was not what we signed up for when we started this. And to be honest, I was probably a little jealous of you too. As I mentioned, you made chief engineer far earlier than when I managed chief science officer. And, well, maybe in addition to some of myself, I also saw some of what I wished I could be. And let's face it, comparing your engineering knowledge to my science knowledge, you're going to win every time. I mean, you're one of the most brilliant engineers I've seen in a long time, and I've worked with quite a few. My science skills were good, but it's become obvious that command is where I was meant to be all along.
Perhaps. But, well, you got your position for a reason, Chuck. And it wasn't because you knew how to tell people what to do. Remember that.
I understand.
By the way, speaking of the Syndicate, Zhao takes the EMP device and tosses it on Bradford's desk. You might want to have a look at that. And no, it's not Zinkethi.
Bradford picks up the device. Oh dear. I'll definitely have a closer look at that a bit later. I have an idea of its origin, and I think you do too, but I don't want to say anything until I've taken a closer look. But if that is what we think it is, our problems just got exponentially worse.
Oh, I can confirm it. Turn it around and look on the other side.
Bradford turns over the device.
Captain, you know as well as I what that is. It's a Romulan power source.
I was afraid of that.
Would not surprise me in the least if the Tal Shiar were involved, after what we've seen.
Given the groups allying against us, the Romulans would be the first to jump on the anti-Federation bandwagon. Well, I will say I'm surprised that they haven't attended any of the meetings, but the Romulans have always been more intelligent than the peoples we've accosted so far. They're not ones to run into a situation and reveal their hand so quickly. Damn it.
Well, that's what they get for trusting the Zinkethi, I suppose.
Apparently. The Zinkethi aren't totally known for it either. I'd have more expected the Kinshaya to go off, or even the Cardassians. I mean, the True hasn't been known for hiding their feelings and their tempers, but...
Also, keep in mind, Captain, they probably weren't expecting me to be on this ship. Remember, I just spent the better half of 5 years basically building a cloaking device from scratch. So, yeah, I've seen my fair share of Romulan tech. They probably weren't expecting that.
True, but the irony of it is, you advanced it and changed its function. From what I saw of your schematics, this thing can't actually straight up cloak the way Romulan vessels can, so... They really don't have anything to be pissed off about. We may have reverse engineered their technology, but what we built is not in violation of our treaty with the Empire, strictly speaking.
True. Very true. Zhao extends his hand. I suppose this is long overdue.
Agreed. Bradford stands from behind his desk and reaches a hand over. Let's be honest, stubbornness or not, we did work pretty well back together on the Zanzio.
We did. And now that I'm in the position you were in on the Sanzio, I have to think of the people under my command and not just my own pig head. Zhao shakes his hand.
Agreed, and I have to think of how my commands and my thinking reflects on those around me, and whether I'm expressing the reasoning for those accurately and not just, barking orders and, doing things that make me seem like a pig-headed jackass myself.
Zhao grins. Now that's the Chuck I know. He withdraws his hand. And speaking of the subordinates, I better get back to sick bay before the nurse decides to try to practice more of her archaic medicine on me.
That's probably a good idea. We need to make sure that device didn't have any other effects on your physiology. Not to mention those injuries from the... Well, your little stay probably need more tending to.
Don't worry about me, Captain. I'll be fine. Corps of Engineers training, remember?
True. I should have expected no less.
Zhao turns and walks off. Bridge is yours.
Understood. The door to the ready room closes and the console beeps. It is incoming Priority 1 message from Starfleet Command. Oh, crap. All right. Bradford sits down at the console, spins the small computer screen on his desk toward him, pressing a few buttons. Receiving Priority 1 message. Authorization, Bradford Beta 7531. The screen hums to life in acknowledgement that it is the captain speaking. And a rather frustrated-looking admiral appears on screen. Well, how are you doing today, Admiral? Very funny, Bradford. Come now. Look, you know why I do what I had to. I am fully aware of what you have done. I should send ships out to drag you back here kicking and screaming into a court-martial right now. Sir, Look, I can send you what we found so far. You don't know what's going on out here. We traced a true-way signal. It turns out they've been meeting with the Breen, the Kinshaya, even the Zenkethi. And they temporarily captured Commander Zhao. When we got him back, they implanted him with a Romulan power source, EMP. Disabled the entire ship up until a few hours ago. We almost lost life support. You wouldn't be talking to me if we hadn't managed to work it out. I have the device here. I'm going to study it and pull some schematics out of it to see if I can find out more about exactly how it functions, but the power source is definitely Romulan. Sir, all these powers are hostile to the Federation, or at least not on peaceful terms. If they're all working together, it's a massive threat to Federation security, and I can't believe that Starfleet Command would just sit back and ignore such... Well, you're going to have to believe it, Bradford. Believe me, I agree with you on this, but my hands are tied. Admiral Acker himself sent down the orders. He wants you brought back and he wants this dropped. If there is something going on, they want to handle it politically. Starting interstellar war with covert attacks is no way to handle this. Not after everything else we've been through. I understand, sir, but... Well... What do you want, sir? What do you want us to do? I'm ordering you back to the nearest star base, where your crew will be decommissioned, and debriefed, and the ship will be taken out of service. The holocloak will be put on a more appropriate vessel. You know I don't want to do this, but Acker said the orders weren't even his. They came from the office of President Vacco. The hell does the president have to do with this? I mean, sure, with all due respect, I've met Nanya Nabako on a couple of occasions. She doesn't seem like the type of woman to sit back and ignore a whole host of Federation enemies plotting something in secret on backwater abandoned bases and hidden moons. I just don't understand. It is not yours to understand, Bradford. This is above your pay grade and mine. But let's just say Akar said he was paid a personal visit in his office by the president's attaché. And his instructions were very clear. They want this dropped before it gets out of hand. You are to report back. And if you don't, I will send someone out to bring you back. You have your orders. Starfleet out. Bradford sits back in his chair, dumbfounded. Ignoring them once was one thing, to try to get enough evidence to prove that we were right, but what are we going to do now? Bradford puts his hand onto his forehead in contemplation as the camera pans over his shoulder and out to the stars. And that's the end of our episode. I guess the rest of the crew's not there.
Yay!
There they are.
Yay.
It's written in the stars.
It's written in the stars. There you go.
Enough for people passed out because lack of oxygen.
Never gonna go on you.
Never gonna go on you back.
Hey, you're not allowed to say go on. That's our word.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us for the episode. This was a little breather episode from all the syndicate powers and things. Just enough to try to...
Breather, because Richter's character...
Exactly, they're oxygen. You see what I did there? I like that, right?
Even your
Good, right?
descriptions are invalidating Richter's performances.
I'm used to it at this point.
He is. But, yeah, this is a little basic episode in order to get a little character development in here and try to... and a little calm before the storm that's coming for the remaining few episodes as we really find out what the Syndicate's true plan and purpose is. Thank you all for joining me.
I thought Syndicate's true purpose was to basically make Assassin's Creed GTA.
Well, that, yes. That's nefarious in and of itself, but... At any rate, thank you all for joining me, and we will see you all next week for Episode 5. What are the Romulans doing? How are they involved? We'll find out next time. I'm James Phoenix.
Same Gone channel.
Indeed. Peace.
Woo!